Being able to have a strong mind and take action on things that are important to you can be hard sometimes, especially if you feel that you're not mentally ready to take action on something. And that can make it much more harder for you to make progress. When it comes to having a strong mind and in general training your mind, it's a process you have to commit to. If you just try that but you fail, it's not gonna determine whether you can still train your mind or not. It's a process that happens throughout time, little by little. You can't hope you get the results immediately, but that's why in this video I go over 5 tips how to train your mind. And number 1 is self-improvement books. Now I remember myself when I started to work on my mindset and in general how I think about different things. It was mainly like I did watch YouTube videos, so I got a lot of knowledge, but I wasn't really like applying and implementing those things in my life in terms of taking action. And something that really kind of helps you to do that is by reading books, because when you read self-improvement books, especially about mindset in general, you get this knowledge about those things. Of course, when you read those books, you really understand what it is about to have a strong mindset, and it can help you a lot to realize that taking action is not scary, because if you do that, you appear more stronger to people. Going after your goals is also an important thing when it comes to thinking about that from mindset perspective, because if you have poor mindset, it's gonna be basically impossible to reach your goals you want to, because you're only acting based on your emotions. So self-improvement books is something that's really good for getting more knowledge and getting into the area of self-improvement. Let's say you do that, for example, every evening. It's a great habit to have. When you sort of show up and read a bit, 5 to 10 pages a day, every day, you'll become more disciplined. You're performing same action over and over again. It can help you a lot in terms of, mastering your mind. Tip number 2, right people. When we talk about how to train your mind, it really comes to people you are hanging out with. If all people around, for example, have poor mindset or don't have any goals, have poor hobbies, or in general they are not working on themselves, that little by little starts to, get into your head as well, because it's not training your mind into the right direction. And here's the thing, when you're hanging out with people who are not goal oriented or basically have nothing to work on, it trains your mind to the negative side, which we don't want. What we want is that you are able to take action no matter what, even though if you don't feel you want to do that, and having a strong mindset at that point can be very powerful. So make sure you have right people around you who support your growth. Find people who are on the same path as you, and that's going to be much more easier to make progress when you do it together, because you can share mistakes, success, basically everything with each other. Tip number 3, challenge yourself. So if you want to train your mind, the best way to do that, in my opinion, is that you challenge yourself. And what I mean by this, you don't only challenge yourself once here and there. Try to do that pretty constantly, because challenging yourself usually means you do something that you're not comfortable doing. That forces your mind to trust yourself and try out new things, and especially things that are more likely outside your comfort zone. That's also the best way to work on your mind. And when you challenge yourself, I give you a little tip about whatever challenge you're trying to complete. You have 2 options. It's win or win situation. Here's the thing. You accept the challenge, you go out and do that. Let's say you complete it and everything goes okay. That's a win, right? And second thing is, if you fail, that's still a win. You probably learn from a mistake, or if it was a type of challenge where you try something new, at least you know that that thing might not be for you. It's not the correct way to think that you're scared of doing something. Instead, you should think that whether I fail or succeed, it's always a win-win situation, because in this case, if you fail, or let's say the challenge didn't go as you planned, you know again a bit more about yourself. You know which things you have to prioritize in the future as well. Tip number 4, take risks. This is pretty critical when it comes to training your mind and having a strong mindset. Taking risks is very personal. Not everyone can take a huge risk and living life normally. But the thing is, if you never risk anything or don't try new things, it's gonna be boring, because you're living comfortably, only doing things you know how to do. When I say take risks, I don't mean like risking something really important to you or doing huge risks immediately, but taking risks can be something that, if you, for example, not investing in the stock market yet, which I recommend doing, you could try that. Obviously do your research and stuff. Don't just go and blow your money on stocks that you don't even know. It's a good way of taking a risk. That'll allow you to see what kind of risk you can handle. Another risk could be, for example, let's say you have some kind of business idea and you'd like to try that. Go for it, because if you don't, you're never gonna know what's gonna happen. Risk taking can be basically anything that is a little risky for you, maybe moving to another city or something. When you do that, during the process, it will make your mental side and your mindset to grow, because you are basically every day facing things outside your comfort zone. And if you're not used to taking risks, it's a great way to push yourself outside comfort zone, and taking risks will really help you to train your mind. And the most important thing here is that when you train your mind by doing these steps I tell you, the goal is to get your mind to the direction where you prioritize your goals. You're becoming more disciplined, you can take action no matter what, and you know you have to work on things if you want to achieve them. That's the most important thing when it comes to training your mind. And the beauty of taking risks is when you get to the level that you can handle like smaller or intermediate risks, it feels like normal thing to you. You can go, for example, and invest a bit bigger amount of money in the stock market or whatever it is for you. You don't even think about it as a big risk anymore. And if you're liking this video this far, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more so you don't miss the newest uploads. Last tip number 5, daily meditation. I think daily meditation is an extremely good habit for training your mind, because it forces you to work on your mental side and become mentally more stronger. And honestly, personally, I barely meditate, but I've still heard it's a good thing. That's just something I don't feel worth doing, for example, during my morning routine. But the good reason is that if you do that and you would like to try, go for it. It's a good habit to have in the beginning if you're working on your mind, and especially trying to level up your mindset. If you do it every day, that shows consistency. You know, you're consistent with your daily meditation, for example, and you can focus also on being consistent, like on every tip I gave you today, whether it's challenging yourself or taking risks, because consistency will help you to develop habits. And once habit is developed, hopefully it's a good habit that will help you to, take a step closer to your goals and be the person you want to be. And daily meditation can help you to handle, situations where you feel mentally weak. You can actually have a bit different perspective on things after that, and it's just a great way of starting self-improvement, for example. That being said, that's all I got for this video. If you liked and you found this helpful and important topic, make sure you share this with other people. And if you're interested about disciplining yourself and becoming a disciplined person, make sure to watch this video next. It is about the best ways how to discipline yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.